Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyers gave away the game today, admitting that they are angling for a pardon from Donald Trump, which I wouldn't be shocked if it came. Trump wished her well. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if he pardoned her to cover his ass. That's what this entire scandal has been. Donald Trump protecting the wealthy and well-off, and of course, himself. And he was confronted over that today when he got off Air Force One in Scotland and immediately lost it, threatening and attacking the reporter, pressing on this issue in a meltdown we're going to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into Trump attacking the reporter, asking him about this scandal, I want to start with a great breakdown we saw from Lawrence O'Donnell of why this meeting with Maxwell is so sinister.
After firing that prosecutor last week, Maureen Comey, and then taking it upon himself to go have a meeting with a convicted sex trafficker who was also charged with perjury. There is absolutely no legitimate basis for such a meeting with the Deputy Attorney General, former criminal defense lawyer for Donald Trump, who gave every appearance today of still functioning as, in effect, Donald Trump's criminal defense lawyer. Could Todd Blanche have any other purpose in talking to Ghislaine Maxwell than trying to get her to say something positive about his client, Donald Trump? Todd Blanche tweeted today, I met with Ghislaine Maxwell, and I will continue my interview of her tomorrow. The Department of Justice will share additional information about what we learned at the appropriate time. And so tonight, the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, who were in middle school and high school when Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell raped them together, have more to fear tonight from Ghislaine Maxwell, thanks to Donald Trump. Donald Trump's former criminal defense lawyer offered Ghislaine Maxwell what? Exactly what? To answer his questions today. Ghislaine Maxwell, who never testified in her own defense in her criminal trial, knowing she was facing a possible 20 years in prison, suddenly decided today that she would talk to a criminal prosecutor for the first time in her life.
The meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell is just another of the many examples of how Donald Trump is trying to cover up right now. And we saw a clip of Maxwell walking back into prison with a box of tapes, papers, assorted materials. We don't know what was in there, and we don't know what Donald Trump is doing. That's the theme of all of this, that there has been zero transparency, that it has just been Donald Trump trying to cover up and lying again and again and again, and trying to deflect as well, of course. And we saw that when he was asked about Ghislaine right here. He decided that he was going to start attacking the Clintons. What he said after, we'll get into. But first, let's take a look.
What are you hoping Todd Blanche interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell? What are you hoping that they get out of that?
I really have really nothing to say about it. She is being talked to by a very smart man, by a very good man, Todd Blanche. And I don't know anything about the conversation. I haven't really been following it. A lot of people are asking me about pardons. Obviously, this is no time to be talking about pardons. But a lot of people have asked about pardon. This is just not a time to be talking about pardons. Todd will come back with whatever he's got. You're making a very big thing over something that's not a big thing. You should be talking about, if you're going to talk about that, talk about Clinton. Talk about the former president of Harvard. Talk about all of his friends. Talk about the hedge fund guys that were with him all the time. Don't talk about Trump. What you should be talking about is the fact that we have the greatest 6 months in the history of a presidency, according to a lot of people. And we had an amazing 6 months. And this is sort of an example of it. Now we're meeting with the European Union, we're also meeting with, as you know, the head of UK.
It's always going to be a deflection from Donald Trump, saying that it's the Clintons or it's Biden or it's Barack Obama. But now Donald Trump has a new line that I guess he likes to deliver. The man who has been instructing the media to cover the most fanciful, idiotic conspiracies, saying that the 2020 election was stolen from him, that he was a political prisoner being prosecuted for crimes he committed, now has a new response in his attack against the media when questioned about Epstein.
We make it.
Did you ask House Republican leaders to not vote on the resolution
No,
about
I was
releasing the
never.
files?
I was never involved in that. I'm focused on making deals. I'm not focused on conspiracy theories that you are. I mean, I watch you people. It's so sad. You ought to talk about the success of our country instead of this nonsense that you talk about over and over again.
Really, Donald? It's the media's fault? They shouldn't be covering this? That's your big problem here? Oh, it's the media. Oh, it's the media. Everyone, did you hear Mr. Donald? It's the media's fault, not you for covering up for your pedophile friends, your billionaire buddies who think they can do whatever they want because they're above the law. They are above the law, by the way. They can do whatever they want. Donald Trump continues to prove that every single day. It's not them. It's the media. It's people like us asking questions. We're the real problem. But it doesn't even matter what you ask Trump at this point. He's just going to lie.
No, I was never briefed. No.
Did you ask how? What are you hoping Todd Blanche interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell? What are you hoping that they get out of that?
I really have really nothing to say about it.
Trump was briefed on the Epstein files. He was briefed that his name was in the Epstein files. It's a funny response. Again, if you try to find any through line with anything Donald Trump has said, you can't. You just can't, because everything's in contradiction. How could Trump know that Obama wrote the files and that he's not in the files and that the files are phony if he hasn't read the files? It doesn't make any sense. They're trying to make a joke out of it. They've exploited victims once, and they're doing it again. And one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims spoke out against Trump and MAGA right here.
Let me start by asking you, I mean, this nightmare has followed you for a very, very long time. I mean, decades. And I'm sure that Jeffrey Epstein's reemergence, I mean, all over the news has been incredibly painful. How are you? How are you doing? How are you digesting all of this?
Thank you for asking that. That's very thoughtful, because a lot of people aren't aware of every time his picture is on one of their podcasts or, and I've asked several people, can you please not just flash his picture everywhere, or Maxwell's, and not glamorize them? But thank you for asking that, because a lot of people aren't aware that re-traumatizes victims every time we have to see his face. And it's a case that has just never gone away. It just won't go away. And I need your audience to understand that, I reported this almost 3 decades ago. So a lot of people will say, oh, why is she just coming forward now? And they think it's political. And it's not. It's something I've been working on. Pretty much I dedicated all of my youth to this. And so I'm doing it not just for me, but for the victims who are now deceased and the victims that are very much alive. And I want to get justice for all of them. I feel that for my little sister to have gone through what she went through and to have had to testify against Maxwell and then have to suffer, and there are others that I love very much who are suffering this right now about Maxwell, it's completely unacceptable. Why would Maxwell be given a voice when she is a convicted pedophile? It's been very difficult, and I appreciate the question. I appreciate you asking.
It has been disgusting to me that we have not mentioned nearly enough that this cover-up is not just for Donald Trump. It is for everyone around him and Jeffrey Epstein. It's for everyone else as well. That's central to this. Why is Donald Trump covering for all those people, besides the fact that they're rich? Well, because if we know who they are, well, then we have more traceable evidence to find and go back to Donald Trump. And so, because he's protecting himself, he's protecting them as well. And no one seems to want to talk about that, especially Donald Trump, who just wants to talk about windmills.
Well, I say 2 things to Europe. Stop the windmills. You're ruining your countries. I really mean it. It's so sad. You fly over and you see these windmills all over the place, ruining your beautiful fields and valleys and killing your birds. And if they're stuck in the ocean, ruining your oceans. Stop the windmills. And there's a couple of things I could say, but on immigration, you better get your act together. Or you're not going to have Europe anymore. You got to get your act together. And we, as you know, last month we had nobody entering our country. Nobody. Shut it down. And we took out a lot of bad people that got there with Biden. Biden was a total stiff. And what he allowed to happen, but you're allowing it to happen to your countries. And you got to stop this horrible invasion that's happening to Europe, many countries in Europe. Some people, some leaders have not let it happen. And they're not getting the proper credit they should. I could name them to you right now, but I'm not going to embarrass the other ones. But stop. This immigration is killing Europe. And the other thing, stop the windmills, killing the beauty of your countries. Thank you very much, everybody.
This is beyond idiotic at this point. It is our president actively melting down before our eyes. He's in cognitive decline. He's completely crazed. He's pushing conspiracies to prevent us from talking about something that's not a conspiracy, something that's a criminal cover-up that's real. You don't have to make up theories. You don't have to come up with ideas. You don't have to push lies to know that Donald Trump is covering his ass right now. That's real. That's tangible. We can see it every single day. But this is just what he does with the presidency. He abuses it and abuses it and abuses it. And he made sure to get a little money on the side with that abuse today, talking about his golf clubs.
Very, very successful man. He'll be doing a good job.
The Royal and Ancient says you're going to have to improve infrastructure at Turnberry to bring the Open back. Is that something you're going to
I don't know. The best course anywhere in the world is Turnberry. The players all want to be at Turnberry. Everybody wants to be at Turnberry, so we'll see how that works out.
The infrastructure needs to be
I think the infrastructure in the course is good. In fact, the Royal and Ancient, I don't know if you're aware of this, they spent a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or probably into the millions of dollars, and they've laid all the wire for television and for electricity under the holes of Turnberry, so that when the Open gets there, they have it all done. They paid for that.
But we're talking about roads and railway stations.
Well, I don't know. See, I don't know what you can do. All I can tell you is that it would be the best place anywhere in your country to have. There's no place like it. There's no place like Turnberry. It's the best, probably the best course in the world. And I would say Aberdeen is right up there also. Aberdeen's great. And while we're here, I'll be with my son, and he's going to cut a ribbon for the second course at Aberdeen, which is just about equal to the first. I mean, it's going to be a battle. It's, as you know, they're very highly rated. And the second course is great. Sean Connery helped get me the permits. If it weren't for Sean Connery, we wouldn't have those great courses.
Of course, Trump is going to take the opportunity to plug his golf course. Above all else, we got to get the grift going. Got to get the grift for Mr. Trump. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed. I'm disgusted. I usually have words. Today it's tough. I am so sick and tired of these awful people. We're going to continue to call them out, though. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.